Hello and welcome to today's episode of Words on the Street. Today I visit Regents Park. Here we have a sign for the Boathouse Cafe, and it also says Rowing Boat Lake and Pedalo's this way. Do you know what a pedalo is? Here we have the pedalos, as you can see, little boats that are powered by pedal power, like a bicycle. So they're powered by your feet, and we call them pedalos. Still making my way around the Regents Park. I have to say it's a very beautiful park, but I'm not too impressed with the signposting. I seem to find myself getting lost and going in the wrong direction quite a lot, but never mind, I'm sure I'll get there in the end. Now here we have an example of the kind of sign which we find a lot in parks and in Regents Park, telling us do not feed the birds. So you feed, in other words, give food to. Okay, when you feed something or somebody, you give it food. And then down below we have the reasons. So feeding of birds by park visitors can result in offspring failing to leave for new territory as they would naturally. In other words, people stay longer than they should. Offspring are the children or babies. Okay, also the name of a famous group. It can lead to overcrowding, disease and inbreeding, which can result in genetic abnormalities. So overcrowding, too many people, disease or illness, inbreeding, and that could lead to genetic abnormalities, and it can lead to aggressive behaviour, including towards park visitors. So if you give them too much food or if you feed them, they may attack you, and that's not nice. Leftover food attracts vermin. Food left in lakes and ponds damages water quality. Okay, so an interesting word there, feed. Another interesting word, offspring. And another interesting word, overcrowding. So, here I am standing outside the open air theatre in Regents Park, and I would like to draw your attention to an interesting structure here in this sentence. It says London's most enchanting outdoor theatre. So what we have here with most enchanting, this is our superlative. And people often make mistakes with this because they are confused. They wonder, should I just say EST? For example, if it was big, if it was the biggest theatre, we would just say biggest. So how do I know to put the word most before it? Well, it's quite simple. If it's a long adjective with more than one syllable, enchanting, 3 syllables, then we're going to use most. If it's a short adjective, such as big or tall, then we just say the biggest, the tallest. So, if you're confused, count the syllables in the adjective. If it's 1 syllable, est. More than 1 syllable, use most, and usually it would be the most to form the superlative. And if it ends in y, if it's a short adjective like funny or lazy, then we're going to use iest. Okay? So if it's funny, funniest. Big, biggest. Enchanting, the most enchanting. So I'm still making my way through Regents Park. It's a little bit frustrating, I have to say. Despite all the signs that tell you you shouldn't feed the birds and the geese, lots of people seem to be wandering around doing exactly that. And it's a little bit frustrating because I wanted to take some pictures of the geese and the birds, but every time I try to, somebody walks along with a loaf of bread and decides to attract all the geese and all the birds. So it's a little bit frustrating. But other than that, it's a very pleasant park. Finding some nice interesting words, park related words, and yep, the search continues. And here we have an interesting piece of information for those people who watched episode 1 and will remember the word bat. And here we have a little picture of a bat, and it tells us that in the park there are pipistrelle bats. Pipistrelles and other bats fly over the water here and in other areas where there are old trees. Look out for them, look for them on summer evenings. And then it tells us they like to eat insects. They are awake at night and they live in trees, in areas with trees and water. So yes, some more interesting bat information for the bat lovers out there. Now here we have an interesting piece of pronunciation work. Okay, you can see the sign that's next to me. I want you to look at the sign. And yes, how do you pronounce this piece of information? Say it. I wonder, did you get it correct? Careful, it should be no bathing, fishing or dogs allowed in this water. Remember that when we use bath as a noun, or as the Queen would say, bath, sounds like that. But when we use it as a verb, or here as a gerund, it changes to bathing. So no bathing, fishing or dogs allowed in this water.
For your age.
Okay guys, I think that is enough for one day. I've enjoyed myself here in Regents Park. I've got some very interesting words, and I've also seen some interesting wildlife, the geese, the birds. I've had a good time here. I've also found a lot of these. Do you know what these are? These are chestnuts, or another word we use for them, conkers. So I'll be taking these home for my collection. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching today. I hope you will join me next time for more Words on the Street.